Arachnicide or die. Huh. What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 56 here on my Random Haul Review series. I am your host, Mood616, and thank you once again for stopping in, guys. Yeah, episode 56 is here, and I've got another one here from Brain Damage Films. And this one right here actually kind of took me by surprise, I'm not gonna lie, because when I first saw the title of this film, I immediately came to the conclusion that it was probably going to be a TV film, but I had no idea that this film was going to be an Italian production. Now, that just totally threw me for a loop, because generally, a lot of these modern Italian films aren't like this. Of course, so this one was produced in 2014, came out on home media here in 2016, of course, from Brain Damage Films, and it is called Arachnicide. Now, when you look at this cover right here, that just screams sci-fi TV movie right there. Yeah. But getting into the synopsis of this one, basically this one right here is about a researcher that creates this incubator that can basically accelerate growth in plants and animals and things like that. The thing is, this research is actually owned by this criminal organization, this drug cartel, that wants to use his research to, of course, help them out in their drug trade. Of course, grow bigger weed plants and things like that. Yeah, so basically what happens is this United Nations forms this commando group called K9, and it's 6 of the most elite special ops out there to go and infiltrate this drug cartel and kind of bring them down, before they, kind of take over and things like that, in which they successfully do. After they do this, they basically get called out to Albania on this top secret mission where, they don't really know what they're going in for. And of course, when they get there, it's much worse than fighting a drug cartel. They have to fight off some big ass fucking spiders. And shit goes crazy. So that is your synopsis of the film right there. Now, my thoughts on this one. Now, this movie right here has this idea. The premise of the film is so much bigger than the actual budget. That is one of the biggest problems with this film, is that it has such a big idea for a film, really no budget, and it really shows in the effects and things like that. And what do I mean by that is, this movie takes itself completely dead serious. Honestly, it takes itself dead serious. Even with a title like Arachnicide, which I believe this movie might have been named K9 Commandos or something like that in Italy or something like that. But this is the American title. But the funny thing is, this movie completely takes itself 100% serious. And it kind of shows, they have like these really cool costumes for the commandos. They look elite, they look like snipers and like, special forces and things like that. But it has this dead serious approach to the film, and it's bringing down drug cartels, and you got choppers, and you got like all this military technology and things like that, but on such a minuscule budget, and it shows, and it's really kind of laughable, to be honest. Besides this film being an Italian film, we all know Italian films, they really like to dub their stuff. This one's dubbed in English, and it's dubbed pretty poorly, actually. It's pretty funny. The acting is pretty atrocious. But it does kind of add to the charm a little bit in the film, because some of the dialogue is so bad, and mixed in with them trying to take it dead serious, it makes for a pretty entertaining and cheesy at times watch. There's actually one line in the film that had me killing myself laughing. It was something to do with this is dead serious or something like that. This is not a science fiction movie. Something to do with the mission that they're on, and I started laughing so hard I had to pause the film. But the odd thing about this one, there's really no comedy in it. It's played dead serious. There's some chauvinistic moments in the film where the military guys are ripping on this chick and things like that, but it's all serious and it's pretty funny. Now, my biggest complaint with this movie is not all that. I'm a big Italian fan. I know these films are going to be dubbed and the dialogue's usually bad and things like that. Those aren't my gripes with the film. My gripe with the film is that this movie runs about 95 minutes, and it doesn't really get going until after the hour mark. Yes, that's right. The first hour of the film is them infiltrating this drug cartel, taking down this thing, and it kind of repeats itself with the military, the military actions and the certain scenes and stuff. They're kind of creeping around and doing their thing and stuff, and just kind of goes on and on and on. And then they get called to Albania, And it kind of does the same thing. It goes really, really slow, and then the action starts, and then you get like very, very repetitiveness with the shootout scenes. The military is shooting at these spiders and things like that. And I have to say, it's a really awkward and very interestingly executed scene, because I've never really seen too many directors do this before. But the close-up shots are of humans, and they're blasting away at these big-ass spiders. The far-away shots, completely 100% video game style. It cuts into full CG, and it's just video game, and it's still being played dead serious. You have to remember this. So it's adding this element of comedic genius to the film, where you're just like, oh my god, this is so funny. I can't believe this is switching back and forth from like real life to like video game. And it's just, it almost seems like it's not even self-aware. It's like, oh, we can probably get away with these scenes. So it's actually pretty funny. Yeah, the look of the spiders in this film, not very good either. The webbing in the film is like really, really poor. You can tell it's just really shitty and things like that. So basically what I'm saying, the budget of the film I know is super low. Being a TV film and stuff, I never did look up the budget, but I imagine it's probably way higher than I could ever imagine. But you know, as an overall product, it's a very strange film. It's more of an action horror film really than a horror action film. I mean, there's so much build up to the, basically the third act in this film, and none of it is horror. It's just, it feels like you're watching a military film. It's very strange, very oddly executed, but there is some very quirky and fun moments in the film, but just not enough to recommend. This one isn't the worst thing I've ever watched, and I think some people might disagree with me. They'd probably look at a film like this and be like, that's like a 1.5 out of 10, kind of thing, like 2 out of 10. Not really, because there is some elements of surprise in this that are actually kind of funny and things like that. But so this one right here, I'm only going to give about a 4 out of 10. I can't recommend it because it's just, I know more people than not are not going to like this. I didn't really enjoy it overall, even though it did make me smile a couple times. I just wish this one was cut down a whole lot and they got into the action right away. Like, I just feel like the first 2/3 of the film doesn't need to be there, and that's a big problem for me. So, with that said, Arachnicide, check it out at your own risk, I guess. So, anyways, guys, that is going to do it for episode 56 here on my random horror review series. I will check you next week, of course, or whenever I do my next review in episode 57. Check you guys then. Peace!